Good morning, this is Simon, who is restoring Chance and Maystar 2. This is the end of the first week in January 2022. It's a bit cold, wet and miserable outside, but we do have some work to do in the workshop, which is to repair and restore the drawers which have been rotten and broken and have to be rebuilt. Thankfully, over the Christmas period, my family got me some tools to make life easier, to make the drawers again, with mortiser and also a dovetail cutters and dovetail machine to be able to cut the dovetails and rebuild the doors and drawers as they were originally built before. So now all I've got to do is get the tool set up, and then we can get on and make some new drawers and doors for the boat. But in the meantime, I've also got a lot of other little jobs to do with both Chance and Maystar 2, like take the wood off the shelves, which was the old bunk tops and fronts, decide whether to keep them or throw them away and make new ones later on in the spring. Because before, a lot of it was made out of plywood, which is rotten in places and will need to be either used as patterns or just thrown away and just redesign the interior once more. But that's another job. In the meantime, we're hopefully going to go back to Chance in the next 2 or 3 weeks to bring back the engines to the workshop to get cleaned up and made safe to be used again by some other person if they are able to be sold. But that's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks, should the weather be good to come down from Lancashire back to Essex, but it's dependent on the weather. Also, when we do get back to Chance, we hope to take out the remaining bits of furniture out of the main cabin so we can expose the hull in that area, and also get out the tanks in the cockpit area under the side decks now that the engines are out and we can get to the tanks properly. We hope to be able to reuse the tanks, but it's a matter of checking them out when we get them out of the boat to see if there's no rust areas in the bottom of the tanks, and also because they've got inspection hatches on the sides of the tanks, we should be able to get inside them to check how clean or dirty the tanks are and make a decision whether to make new ones, repair the old ones, or whatever we have to do to get them back up to good condition. But that's when we get back to the boat. We've also got to take the drip trays out from where the engines were so we can expose the hull under the engines, which is one of the areas which I have found has got a plank off the frame in the engine room, which we can't get to at the moment because the drip tray is in place. So it's carefully taking the drip trays out, which have actually been designed to fit in between the engine bearers very well when they were first built, and they actually are well made copper based plates underneath the engines, which we hope to get in one piece, all being well. Another job that my brother's going to hopefully tackle is actually removing the prop shafts and the stern gear so they can be restored and when refitted once the engines are renewed later in the restoration. But at the moment they are phosphor bronze propeller shafts, which, although they were good in their day, I'm sure are well worn in the cutlass bearing and also in the packing gland on the boat, so it very likely will have to make new prop shafts, which is not going to be a cheap job as people expect it to be. But well, that's another job down the line. In the meantime, it's just a matter of getting on as much as we can in the winter months, so that when comes the spring we hopefully get the planks renewed in March and April time, so we can actually move the boat and should be strong enough to be able to be moved at that time.